Hello, and thank you for coming to see my presentation on agent-assisted lifelong education and learning. In this project, we are looking to help people to position themselves at 21st century job markets. The job markets of nowadays are becoming increasingly competitive with still more and more people entering the job markets. The emerging job roles, even for entry-level positions, often require some certifications, sets of multidisciplinary skills, even specialist knowledge. We also see the increased pressure for lifelong education for people at different points in their career. Most recently, we also see precision education emerging, which is a movement that enables personalized or differentiated education for individuals, whether they have special needs or special requirements. And this is what agents can help, right? Agents can empower education by developing skills and maximizing career prospects. They can do that by curating personalized education pathways, catering for individual preferences and needs for development. So let's take a look at agent technologies. What are the benefits and what are the opportunities and challenges that we still see? When we look at the timeline of AI, we see that at the beginning of 21st century, the agents were very promising technology and we were looking at them dominating the industry. This hasn't really came to fruition, and in reality, we see only partial adoption of agent technologies in the industry, largely planning and scheduling, supply chain management, agent-based simulation, or different assistive technologies such as web chat and so on. What we also see is a limited adoption of more complex agent architectures such as the BDI agent architectures, also limited adoption of MAS, OTSMAS, and the others. Yet what we see that AI is booming, right? And this can be largely attributed to the recent boom of machine learning, right? And the data science field. So recently we've asked industries what is their challenge with AI? Why is it that they can relate to machine learning and data science, but it's difficult for them to adopt agent technologies? And we talked to different people from mining, manufacturing, entertainment, government, and different service providers. And the number one thing they told us is that they have difficulty to grasp what type of people do they hire for AI positions. They see there is this complicated stack of requirements that such an employee would have. So if we compare it, the traditional AI and modern data science and machine learning, AI position often require a PhD qualification, while for data science, you can have undergraduate with data science degree. The second problem is what are the standards in AI? What are the tools that we can use? What is the technology stack of platforms that we can use? And the truth is that there are very scattered academic platforms like islands of different platforms and their own sets of standards that are not really intertwined in more developed packages. While in machine learning and data science, we see this industry co-developed platforms such as PyTorch or TensorFlow or scikit-learn, right? So it's an established platform. Three issue that it asked us is what is the cost to benefit ratio of using agent technologies? It's difficult to answer because it is quite expensive to start playing around with AI technologies, while data science and machine learning packages have this established platform that are free-ish to experiment with. And it's also more relatable to talk about machine learning than about all those individual engine technologies. So in this project, we try to tackle these industry problems by designing a decentralized educational agent network team. So let's take a look first. Why do we think we have a problem with the current status quo? In learning, when we are trying to learn a new concept, we tend to look at a huge number of competing governmental private institutions, as well as online businesses, which provide different courses in all areas of education. The other resources are also, of course, scattered in free resources, such as in blogs, websites, reports, white papers, and so on. Knowledge as well is developing, right? The quality of content tends to improve with more providers entering the job market. So it's a shifting landscape of different providers. And personally, we also have a preferences in the way we want to digest education. So as a result, finding the best possible education plan and to maintain accurate educational content for personal growth requires significant resources of both time and money. So why do we think that agents can solve this problem? Well, let's take a look at alternative first. What we can do is what we do usually, yeah? We manually search websites or aggregators, which tend to come with their own agenda, right? They tend to rather promote the sellers rather than looking at your interests. People who pay more money are more visible to you. We can try to program our own web crawlers, but they are quite expensive to make. They are quite expensive to maintain. Information tends to be outdated. It's a very high resource thing to do. The other thing which people tend to do is they try to use social networks to help them. They follow their influencers and they seek advice from people. But here as well, the people tend to follow their own agenda, so we not necessarily need to obtain the results that we would like. So essentially, with agents, we can have this trustworthy, lifelong partner who's with us for an extended period of time, who understands us, and who has only our best interest in mind. So as an example, agent can monitor job markets to assess potential career developments, opportunities, based on the partner's skill set, and provide short-term educational pathway to develop into a potentially interesting role in the job market. So what we seek to do is to create something like a unified testbed and a showcase of agent technologies with this, right? It is based on idea of decentralized agent markets, which has been researched for decades. It's an e-market technology. In our case, the agents act as a lifelong education partners. And by lifelong education, we mean two things. First of all, that they can help us in different parts of different times of our lives, whether it's early education or later education, but as well, they stick with us for extended period of time. And doing so, they learn our human goals and preferences through either us directly interacting with the agent or monitoring our behavior, right? So that's a learning type of technology. They will be able to find educational partners that we can work with and even explore different career opportunities, right? This would employ the search, optimization, supply chain mechanism for agent technologies. They would be recommending different pathways, whether it's for education or career, using recommendation decision support technologies. If we want to maintain their trust, literature says that they need to be able to explain their decisions and reasoning, right? Entering the explainability technology of agent technologies. We essentially will share private and personal information with such agent, so they should be also reliable. So they should know who they deal with and acting with and dealing with trustworthy partners, entering the trust and reputation technologies. And of course, in optimal world, they should be able to also acquire us automatically deals for us for best possible price in a best possible time with best possible partners through possibly argumentation and negotiation. And this idea comes to fruition largely when we think of networks, right, of agents communicating together, connected into a multi-agent systems or Aamas. And if you come to think about it, while this is an example of looking at education, this is relatable to many other applications, right? In many different industries where agents are supposed to sift through a large portion of the data that is in the best of our interest to make a specific decision, and then proactively monitoring the environment for us to either stay on top of our game, have the best opportunity, and so, right? So one of the questions we also ask in the paper is how much resources do I need to make this happen, right? So that's the thing that industry asks. Well, this thing is really difficult to estimate until we really do have that platform first that is well connected to all these technologies together, and we start applying these technologies to other areas and industries. So how would our prototype look like, right? What we propose is just a high-level Dean agent model that deals with following components. First, the agent is aware of specific roles that exist in the job market. This is a high-level category that a human wishes to position themselves into, right? It's a job category or role. Specifically, there are jobs, right? Which is a particular job position that a human wants to partake or has an opportunity to partake into, right? Then there is a set of skills that human has. This could be a soft skills or hard skills. Soft skills are more related to personal skills, hard skills are more technical skills. We are using established frameworks such as Sophia, which is Skills for Information Agent framework, which relates more to STEM type of skills. And we are also experimenting with the Bernie Glass dataset, which is a commercial platform that extracts skills from existing job ads. We have then suppliers who are service providers, right? Which is educational providers, which could be an organization, could be an individual with his blog, could be anybody on internet who's providing educational data that we can learn from. And of course, there are pathways that represent temporal educational pathway involving selected suppliers, which allow us to learn skills, potentially leading to desired job or role. And with this, if we would, when we are working on designing this, and this will be like a really minimum viable product, and then we can start slowly, hopefully with the help of the community, that is yourself, plugging more agent technologies, making this model smarter and smarter, hopefully leading into a platform that will be able to encompass and envelop all these exciting and wonderful agent technologies that we've been working on, showcasing the potential of this compound power of all these technologies to all the other industries and potential parties. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm looking forward to your questions.